Does your license need saving? Do the wise thing. Call Wise Man Lawyers. Does your license need saving? Do the wise thing. Call Wise Man Lawyers. Don't face that court alone. Let the Wise Man team get you back on the road. Does your license need saving? Do the wise thing. Call the Wise Man team at Wise Man Lawyers.
Alright, today I'm at Nambour Magistrates Court. Client was charged with drug driving. There's two types of drug driving. The more serious is driving under the influence of a drug, meaning you're high on drugs. The less serious is what's called drive whilst relevant drug present, meaning you've consumed it at some point. The effects have worn off. You're no longer under the influence or high, but there's traces of that substance still in your system. Penalty range for driving whilst a relevant drug is present is a maximum of a 9-month disqualification, mandatory minimum of a 1 month disqualification. If you haven't lost your licence in the last 5 years and you meet certain other criteria, you can apply for what's called a drug driving work licence. My client, although he did have a previous drink driving offence just outside of the last 5 years, given he hadn't lost his licence for any reason in the last 5 years, he was eligible to apply. There was, as I said, there's other hurdles that need to be met, and he met those. So, as a starting point, he was eligible to apply for a drug driving work licence, and that's what he engaged me to do. As a part of that, basically, I've got to draft about an 8-page affidavit up for him to sign, talking about what he does, income, expenses, family situation, difficulties he'll suffer while he's without a licence and without the income that licence generates. I needed to do about a 4-page affidavit up for his boss to sign, saying what he does, why he needs his licence to do it, and that he will lose his job if he loses his licence. So just on that point, the employer affidavit, it can't sit on the fence. The employer can't mince their words, or if HR gets hold of it and tries to water it down, you're not going to get it over the line. I mean, to go off point for a minute, I've had, not a massive amount, but I've had several clients who have worked for local councils or large corporations with their own HR machine as a part of the organisation. They get charged, have a chat with me, I tell them what's required and what's expected of their employer. When I say employer, it doesn't need to be the CEO, but immediate supervisor or someone with some pull within the company is fine. But occasionally in these big organisations, the person will say, yeah, no worries, I'll help. But then when it's time to put pen to paper, they, I'll let you insert the words into this sentence as to what they're doing, but they go to HR and HR gets hold of it. And if you've ever dealt with any kind of HR department, they're professionals at muddying the waters and, sitting on the fence and putting question marks everywhere. So basically, an affidavit that I draft says that this person will lose their job or similar, at the very least lose their income, but then these HR departments seem to think the police are going to come kicking their door down, saying, why is this man still working here when he signed to say that he'd lose his job? Anyway, I'm going off point, but what I'm saying is occasionally I'll have clients where their employers will not sign the affidavit, in which case that's when I summons the employer to give evidence. So I summons them to appear at court. If they ignore the summons, the magistrate's got the power to issue an arrest warrant for the employer. So the employer will get arrested, put in the cells, and put before the magistrate on the hearing date. And if they don't want to sign an affidavit, they can give their evidence verbally from the stand. So anyway, again, I'm going off point, but generally it's done by affidavit. But if the employer won't sign an affidavit for reasons other than the affidavit being incorrect, meaning they want to sit on the fence and they don't want to commit to the client despite the fact that they've spent 40 years or whatever working for the organisation, I can there's other ways of getting the information out of them, meaning summoning them to appear at court. If they don't appear, warrant gets issued and they're dragged by the police to appear at court, and then I get to cross-examine them on the stand and get them to answer the questions that they, for whatever reason, think they're too high and mighty to do via correspondence. In any event, that wasn't the case in this instance. The employer was happy with the draft that I came up with based on the instructions I was given. They signed the affidavit because this guy was a truck driver, and a company that employs a truck driver isn't going to pay a truck driver if they can't drive a truck. So they signed the affidavit saying that if he can't drive the truck, he'll lose his job. I drafted all these documents last year, given that it was coming up to Christmas. I've met the client in court today, grabbed a conference room, ran through the procedure, my submissions, what he could expect the prosecutor to say, me to say, the magistrate to say. I did have to go into quite a bit of detail guiding the magistrate through the contents of the affidavit, but once the magistrate was clear on what was being asked for, it didn't take a great deal of persuasion. Yes, he had a previous drink driving offence, and yes, this was drug driving, cannabis, but the previous was quite historic. I got him to do a reformatory course, which he physically attended. Got character references based on a template that we provide all of our clients, and on balance, I was able to persuade the magistrate that my client was a fit and proper person to be given a second chance to hold on to their licence. Look, the short version is the application was granted. I didn't try and get the mandatory minimum 1 month, given that there was that previous. He was given 3 months, which is fair. As I said, repeat offender, you're not going to go expecting a work licence and the previous. But again, the work licence application was successful. Hi, I'm Andrew Wiseman from Wiseman Lawyers, Queensland's only truly dedicated drug, alcohol and traffic offence law firm. If you face loss of licence, loss of vehicle imprisonment, or anything in between at any court in Queensland, we can and will help you today. This is our specialty. This is all we do. Give us a call, 1300 947 352. I look forward to helping you resolve your issue today.
Don't face that court alone. Let the wise man team get you back on the road.